Okay, so I think we'll make a start now. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our virtual subject information session for brickwork and masonry. So my name is Sophie. I'm a designer and digital marketing coordinator here at East Coast College. Just to make you aware that we will be recording this session. This will be up on our YouTube channel early next week. That just gives the opportunity for those that were unfortunately unable to come to the session this evening to watch again. So as I said before, so in this session, we will be covering brickwork and masonry, and we're joined this evening by our tutor, Steve, who's going to give you an overview of the course, and we'll answer some questions at the end. And there is just a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. So if you do find that you've got any questions, if you just pop them in there, and then we'll go through those at the end. So I'll hand you over to Steve, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about brickwork.
Hiya, folks. Right, brickwork. All being well, what we're looking at is we've got level 1 and level 2 full-time courses here at East Coast College. It dependent on grades that you come in with. Level 1 is anything below 2 4s in English and maths, and level 2, if you achieve higher than the 2 4s or 4s and above in English and maths, we'll be looking at putting you on a level 2 program. What we'll talk about, first of all, is level 1 brick. It's 6 units long. Within that, we've got 2 exam-based units, which are principles of construction and health and safety. Health and safety is the first one we do. It's actually sat at level 2. Even though it's a level 1 program, health and safety is done at level 2 because there is no differentiation between level 1 and level 2. Health and safety is health and safety. It's an online multi-choice exam. So we teach it and then we book you in for the exam to sit at the end. The good thing is if you do it at level 1, you don't have to do it again at level 2. So if you do a level 1 program, you get the health and safety, that's put to bed. We just reinforce the level at level 2. The next one is principles of construction. Within principles of construction, what we're doing there is we're actually looking at the construction industry as a whole. So we're looking at, you'll look at different trades within construction. You'll look at the communication that we use on site, which will allow you then, when you are on site, if you've got a carpenter talking about jack rafters, purlins, you've got quite a bit of understanding in what he's talking about, and vice versa. If you're talking about English and Flemish bond, that carpenter is going to know a bit about English and Flemish bond or what they look at. Again, it's an online multi-choice question paper, which is done. We'll teach you the theory behind it, and then you'll go away and you'll do your exam. All being well, you'll be ready for getting it when we're there. And then really the units you want to be here for. You've got a brickwork unit, you've got a blockwork unit, you've got brick and block together, which form your cavity walls, and you've got a setting out unit. Each one of those units has, what we do is we train you in the aspects. So if it's the brickwork unit, we've got jobs that we train you. As I said, you build a phase test, you'll do the multi-choice question paper. All being well, you'll be at a standard where you'll pass the phase test, you pass the multi-choice question paper, and that'll be the unit put to bed. So that is your brickwork, blockwork, brick and block, cavity walling together, and a setting out unit. Once you've completed all of those, you'll have done your level 1 brickwork. what you've got to be aware of as well, folks, if you come in with level 3s in English and maths, you'll be looking at your GCSE resits. If you come below 3s in English and maths, you'll be looking at functional skills. So please look at the full overall. The thought of college is not, you're not just coming to do brickwork. If you fall onto a level 1 program, you will still have maths and English to do. If we look at level 2 brickwork, which direct entry into level 2 is with 4s and above, which actually we're putting pressure on students that come direct into level 2, because if you're coming from school with little experience of brickwork, we've got to get you and skill build you pretty rapidly. We've got to cover a level 1 in the first 6 to 8 weeks, and then start on the level 2 work. So it is really hard work to get through that level 2. If you're coming direct entry into level 2, you've still got your 2 exam-based units, which are principles of construction and health and safety. Health and safety, I've covered, is health and safety within the construction industry. The difference of principles from level 1 to level 2, even though it's a multi-choice question paper, at level 1, you're probably identifying. So there may be quite a few drawings and you're asked to identify. Level 2, it will be more around the question will be describing something and you've got to pick the answer out of the description. So that's where it changes and the different levels come in. Again, it's covering all construction documentation, different trades. So you learn a bit about roofs, foundations, paints, plastering, internal wall finishes, everything like that. So when you're out on site, you can talk about with other colleagues within the industry. If we then look at your units, there is actually only 3 units at level 2. That is solid walling, cavity walling, and again, setting out masonry structures. Within the solid walling, we actually cover arch construction, English, Flemish bond, attached piers. I know it sounds a lot of, gosh, this sounds hard work. There's quite a bit to cover within that. Again, you do your face test. Once we've trained you up in solid walling, the face test for solid walling is a pier, so a square column with attached walls with a couple of decorative panels in it. That is the same. So it's the same as level 1. We'll train you. We'll then set you on your face test piece, followed by, if you pass it, you've then got to do a multi-choice question paper that, again, we administer and mark, that is all around solid walling. So there'll be questions around solid walling. So this is where you fall practical and your theory falls together. You will do exactly the same for cavity walling. So we've got training jobs to get you into cavity walling. Even though you do cavity walling at level 1, the more complexity at level 2 is we've put a window in it. We've put a lintel over the window and we're doing decorative work above the lintel over the window. So that is the difference at level 2. Again, you'll build it, we'll mark it, all being well, you'll pass. All the grading we sit in guilds are pass, merit and distinction. So you will get out of it what you put in it. If you just think, that'll be right, I'm right with that, Steve, you'll get a pass. if you put that extra and they go that extra mile, become more precise at your brickwork, and you're getting distinctions, that's sort of your A grade, A mark pass. Where can we progress to? I think that's covered. I'm quite happy, Sophie, with that we've covered everything. Your progression once you leave East Coast College after you've done either your 2 years from level 1 to level 2, or your 1 year as level 2 program, your progression is going to be into the workplace. What I would say is, I'm going to give you the skill of being a bricklayer, but I'm not going to turn you into a bricklayer. What that will do is, once you get out on site, you will then learn and fine tune your skills. Everything in my workshop's perfect. If I want a wall 10 bricks long, I tell you to build a brick wall 10 bricks long. In winter, it don't get cold. It never rains in my workshop. I'm in perfect environment at all times. Whereas if you're going out on site, it rains, it gets wet, your bricks get wet, it's windy, it gets cold in winter. None of that happens within my workshop. So when you do go out on site, rather than me say you're going to go out as a bricklayer, I like to say you're going to go out as an improver. That you're going to improve your skills from what I've taught you to become that bricklayer. So you can do bricklaying, you can look at restoration work, ground workers, civil engineering. The construction industry is quite a big beast with a lot of different offshoots. If you want to be a little jobbing builder, where you're going around building little extensions down street, you can do that. You could be a bricklayer where you're going on housing estates and you're just laying bricks constantly, day in, day out. It depends where you want to take it and where your heart is. You can actually progress. A lot of bricklayers progress from the trowel up to being first line supervisors, up to running jobs. So it is a job that's, you'll get out of it what you put into it. So they're your progression routes. Your progression could be into an apprenticeship at any point. So I'm always talking to the students within college saying, look, get letters banged out every now and again to local employers, contractors, see if they want any apprentices. Because within apprenticeship, you're actually 4 days a week on site earning money, 1 day a week in college, fine tuning your skills within college. Nice way, nice option of doing it. So that really covers all the progression routes within brickwork. So if we go to that, don't know what the next slide was. Any questions?
Okay, so that brings us to the end of our presentation. So if you do have any questions, please plop them in the Q&A box and we will run through them quickly. So I'm just going to have a look to see which ones we've got in there so far. Okay, so our first one is, someone has asked, so how much of the course is theory-based and how much of it is hands-on?
If we look about 60-40, 60% practical, 40% theory.
Perfect. The next one, someone has just asked, so will I be in college every day?
No, on average, a full-time program is 3 days a week.
Perfect. Someone's asked, they're kind of go to hand in hand really. So someone has asked, can they swap courses in September if they change their mind?
What we have, we've got what we call the 6-week window. where students within the first 6 weeks, we're looking at movement from course to course. Once that 6 weeks has passed, we're quite far into a curriculum, so we don't like to change after that 6 week period. So I'd prefer it within the first month, but we can look at any time up to that first 6 weeks.
Great, thank you. Just got another one. So someone has asked, so if they complete brickwork with you, can they move to another trade?
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Is that any of the trades or
any of the trades? Dependent on GCSE results and where they're sitting, because some of the electrical and plumbing have got higher entry grades than brick have got. So it's about having the correct GCSE results as well.
Perfect. I think that may have been our last question. I'm just going to double check. There we go. Yeah, so that was our last question. So thank you for joining us this evening. So if you haven't yet applied, you can head over to our website now, which is shown on the screen, to fill out an application form. You can also find other details about all of the other courses we offer here at East Coast College. If you need to get in touch again or have any further questions, you can use the Here to Help email on screen and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you for joining us this evening and we hope you have a great evening.
Thank you, folks.